Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Worship Online on this Sunday, August 8th. May the peace and presence of the Holy One be with each one of us this day. Welcome to online worship here at East End United. We are an open, affirming, and faith-seeking community, open to where Christ is calling us, affirming that everyone is made in God's image and therefore welcome, and seeking to faithfully walk as one with one another and with all of creation, guided by the spirit of love, peace, justice, and right relationship. As we begin our worship this morning, I would like to acknowledge the land on which we gather, whether in person or virtually. And for today's land acknowledgement, I will be sharing the words of a fifth grade student of Heather Barnes, a member of our community, whose name is Andrew Ding. Heather led an exercise with her class where they learned about the Indigenous nations of this land and crafted their own personal land acknowledgements together. So this is Heather's student Andrew's acknowledgement of the land. We would like to acknowledge the fact of the lands that we currently stand on. Indigenous peoples such as the Wendat, Anishinaabe, and the Haudenosaunee Confederacy have been here long before we and our ancestors have arrived on these lands and are still here calling this land their home. We acknowledge that these people have cared and nurtured for this land so that we now live here calling it home. The arrival of the settlers has traumatized many of these First Nations, but they still help them stay and eventually live on this land. Without the help of First Nations, we wouldn't have been able to work, play, and live on this land. We shall promise to the Indigenous peoples that we will continue to protect their land, respect their presence, and we must make up for those mistakes that we have made. That's fifth grade student Andrew Ding, a student of Heather Barnes. Again, welcome, church. Today, leading worship with me online are Scott Pietrangelo and Catherine Saxberg, and today's service was planned and is being co-led both in person and online by Catherine McGregor, Gerald Petkow, Edith Shand, Heather Barnes, Michael Schneider, and Reverend Robin Wardlaw. And they are in person at Glen Roads United Church today, so many of our community are gathering there this morning, and we are worshiping in parallel with the service at Glen Roads United Church. I'm going to say a little bit more about our services being in person and online separately this summer a little bit later on, but for now, welcome, and I invite Catherine to continue our worship.
Thank you, Hillary. Come, people of God, come and worship here.
We come with hearts full and hopes high and faith rejoicing.
Come, brothers and sisters in Christ, come and worship now.
We come with voices, music, hands, and feet.
Come, children of the Spirit's longing, come and worship God.
We come, let us worship God together.
Open our hearts to the light of God's presence.
We will walk in the light. Maybe
we'll try. I even tested this in advance and it worked just fine. Ha!
Huzzah!
It's a miracle. Jesus said, I am the light of the world.
We will carry his light into the darkness. Thanks be to God. And now our opening hymn is Voices United 296. This is God's Wondrous World. We'll be singing verses 1 and 2. This is God's wondrous world, and to my listening ears, all nature sings and round me rings the music of the spheres. This is God's wondrous world, I rest me in the thought of rocks and trees, of skies and seas, God's hand the wonders wrought. This is God's wondrous world. The birds their carols raise, the morning light, the lily white, declare their Maker's praise. This is God's wondrous world. God shines in all that's fair, in the rustling grass or the mountain pass, God's voice speaks everywhere.
On 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 8. The greatest blessing I can think of is knowing I have your undying love. For it is amazing someone like me, God, can be loved by the likes of thee. With your grace, I'm richly blessed. 'Tis why my soul is at perfect rest. All of my needs you daily furnish, so every good work in me can flourish. The greatest blessing is knowing your love for me never stops flowing. And I'd also like to share with you this morning a poem. The author is unknown, and it's called Be Thankful. Be thankful that you don't already have everything you desire. If you did, what would there be to look forward to? Be thankful when you don't know something, for it gives you the opportunity to learn. Be thankful for the difficult times. During those times you grow. Be thankful for your limitations because they give you opportunities for improvement. Be thankful for each new challenge because it will build your strength of character. Be thankful for your mistakes. They will teach you valuable lessons. Be thankful when you are tired and weary because it means you have made a difference. It's easy to be thankful for the good things. A life of rich fulfillment comes to those who are also thankful for the setbacks. Gratitude can turn a negative into a positive. Find a way to be thankful for your troubles, and they can become your blessings.
Thank you, Catherine. This morning at Glen Rhodes in person, Catherine and Michael Schneider will be sharing some reflections on what they're grateful for. They may be doing it as we speak, and they very kindly recorded their reflections on gratitude in the face of all the difficulties of these past months. They shared them by video with us. So Catherine McGregor and Michael Schneider will share those reflections with us now. I'm going to share Catherine's first, and then I hope you'll bear with me for a little technical switcheroo in between. So, Catherine, thank you for your words.
I'm Catherine McGregor. As we move cautiously through this next stage, we can't help looking back over the many hardships and lives turned upside down over these past 17 months. So we thought this morning to rather focus on some of the joys and blessings we've encountered as we continue on through this difficult time. Personally, I feel very fortunate. I have my health, I'm in contact with family and friends, and enjoyed some sidewalk visits. And keeping within the protocols, I even got to celebrate my birthday in a small gathering in Edith's garage. Here at East End, we are thankful for the many volunteers and staff who have kept our Out of the Cold and our food program and our worship services running. And what a great feeling we've recently been able to enjoy some in-person gatherings like this morning, or the July service at Eastminster for Aram's baptism. And a few weeks ago when we gathered for Jane Sandon's farewell. It was a balmy summer evening with delicious appetizers and sweets, and all in the beautiful backyard setting of our wonderful hosts, Reverend Deborah and Michael Schneider. I found joy on so many levels that evening. The joy of being together in person, to be able to bid a fond farewell and show our appreciation to Jane Sandon for all that she has meant to East End United. Now, I knew most of the people there at the gathering, but still, there were a few I hadn't actually met. What a joy it was to have face-to-face chats with friends and others I had for so long only seen on a screen. A great chat with Victor and Andrew. We talked about our work experiences, about Scotland, kilts, and whiskey. And as a totally non-sports person, I was quite pleased with myself that I was able to hold my own in a conversation about hockey and soccer with Paul Childerhouse. Short of saying hello in the passing, I had never actually talked to Joan Hewson until that night, and what a treat that was. She's been in the choir for 69 years, that she was an intake clerk for professional engineers. She loves ballroom dancing and has entered many competitions. I'm looking forward to seeing the pictures. Next, I met the Childerhouse sisters. Lucy and Karina had come early to help decorate, and Izzy, who joined us after her soccer practice. What a delight these young people are. So open, energetic, full of fun. We talked about food and school and Netflix recommendations. I learned from Izzy there's a special way to head the ball in soccer. Otherwise, it can really hurt, apparently. Karina is a grade 10 student at Danforth Tech Collegiate. She knows how to fix a tire, and next year, she's going to be learning how to do an oil change. I'm hoping to book her for next year. Collegiate. She works part-time at East York Deli, and she has emphasized that if you go to East York Deli, don't expect to see her because she is always in the back making up the orders. They talked with great enthusiasm about their hopes and dreams for our youth program at East End United. They even agreed to let me be on their team should there be a volleyball challenge against our council members. Naturally, they have missed things like being in the classroom and in person with friends. And interesting to me, it just wasn't something they dwelled on. And I'm happy to say that they are on their way to a long anticipated family holiday with their mom and dad. I will continue to count my blessings that despite the difficulties of this pandemic, I'm thankful to find moments of joy and acts of kindness and a deep, deep appreciation for all the things I once took for granted.
Thank you, Catherine, for those words of reflection. And as I prepare Michael's message, I would love to know in the comments what your moments of gratitude have been during this time.
Yes.
I'm very grateful for grandparents.
Hello, I'm Michael Schneider. Some people know me as the husband of the minister, Reverend Deborah Schneider. I'm involved in the choir at church, and sometimes you can see me playing my violin in the Toronto Community Orchestra during special events. For this morning reflection, I decided to interview my daughter, Katie. Aside from being our eldest daughter, Katie is a wife, a mother, a friend, and an elementary school teacher. She and her husband and a daughter all contracted COVID-19 over the winter, and she and Savannah were both long haulers whose symptoms persisted for several months. For all these reasons, the past year and a half have been especially rich and challenging for her. Uncertainty was the one constant when it came to teaching over the past year and a half. Frequently not knowing whether she was planning for online or in-person teaching at the last minute was frustrating. When she was in school, all the extra protocols that were required and the back and forth of teaching inside and outside made each day exhausting. When she was online, the focus required was constant and the preparations to keep things engaged for students were extensive. I asked her if she found blessings in the midst of all the struggles, and she said yes. There were blessings to be found in family relationships, in friendships, in her work life as a teacher, and in a deeper connection with nature. In her family relationships, she found she and her husband grew closer and that each developed a better understanding of the demands of each other's jobs. She was also appreciative and impressed at her 10-year-old daughter's independence. When Katie had to be teaching online, her daughter was online in another room, being attentive and responsible as a student. Katie also felt she learned a better work-life balance over the course of the pandemic. She has a tendency to push herself to exhaustion, and in managing work while not feeling full strength, she learned the importance of self-care. When she and her husband and her daughter were ill with COVID, Deborah and I and a number of her student parents brought them food. There was a blessing and an amazing source of support. She realized just how blessed she was with friends and family who cared for her and how precious they are to her, and what a gift it is to know there are people she can lean on and vice versa. As a teacher, in addition to increasing her technological savvy, she challenged herself to develop her skills in outdoor teaching, which is something she always wanted to do. She enjoys increased connection with the natural world and plans to continue on this after the pandemic. She also found she developed a closer and stronger and more trusting relationship with both her students and her parents. She feels parents now have a better understanding of what her job entails as a teacher. Best of all, from my own personal point of view, is that she felt really blessed having Deborah and I close by, and that she came to realize how special little things such as hugs, walks, talks, and of just being together are so important.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you, Catherine, as well, for those words this morning. We are going to respond to this message by singing together. I hope you will all sing at home. It's a song you may be familiar with from previously in our in-person worship, pre-pandemic. It's a song in a dialect called Yuba, which is related to Arabic, and it's a song of thanks called Shukuru. I've put the lyrics in the chat on both Facebook and YouTube if you'd like to see what they are. But all you need to know is Shukuru Yezu. So say that after me. Shukuru Yezu. That's right. So, well, I think it's right, I assume. So I sing the same line and you respond stepping up one each time. So I would sing Shukuru and you respond with Shukuru Jesu. Let's try that much. Shukuru. You go Shukuru Jesu. Then I do the same thing. Shukuru, Shukuru Jesu. Shukuru, Shukuru Jesu. Then we all go together. Shukuru, Shukuru Jesu. Let's try that one more time. Shukuru, Shukuru Jesu. Shukuru, Shukuru Jesu. Shukuru, Shukuru Jesu. All together. Shukuru, Shukuru Jesu. I have some helpers joining me to sing this so we can have some harmony. You can make up some harmony. The bass-ish parts would respond, Shukuru Jesu, Shukuru Jesu, Shukuru Jesu. Yes, Shukuru, Shukuru Jesu. You get the idea. Here is all of us. Let's all sing together. Shukuru, Shukuru Jesu, 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 Shukuru, Shukuru. English. Thanking you, Jesus, thanking you, Jesus, thanking you, Jesus, thanking you, and again, thanking you, Jesus, thanking you, Jesus, thanking you, Jesus, thanking you, Jesus, for this day, thanking you, Jesus, for these songs, thanking you, Jesus, for these friends, thanking you, Jesus, thanking you, Jesus. Ah, Shukuru, Shukuru Jesu, Shukuru, Shukuru Jesu, Shukuru, Shukuru Jesu, Shukuru, Shukuru. Ah, Shukuru, Shukuru Jesu, Shukuru, Shukuru Jesu, Shukuru, Shukuru Jesu, Shukuru, Shukuru Jesu. Beautifully sung. Thank you, family.
You're welcome. Thank you, Hazel.
Thank you, friends. We share all of these gifts of presence, these gifts of friendship and love, and what gifts we are able to share with the community in this time of offering with this handy dandy slide that I will share with all of you now, because this is a slick operation. Friends, we invite you to share what gifts you can for the ministry of East End United. Please bless these gifts. Oh, I have taken Scott away. There you are.
Hello.
Hello. Bless these gifts, gracious God, that our offers of time, energy, money, and commitment may build your kingdom here on earth as it is in heaven. And now, friends, I share the life and work of our East End United community. It's the summer, so things are typically more quiet, but of course we're a busy community and there is a lot going on. I direct you to the e-blast, which was sent around on Friday, which has much more information on all of the announcements I'll share today. I call your attention to a few things now. The first is pastoral care. If you are in need of pastoral care, you can be in touch with the pastoral care team. Oh no, I'm trying to find where the information is. Oh, I've got the wrong email open. That's the problem. You can be in touch with our capable volunteers to connect with pastoral care if you have needs, if you have pastoral care needs during this time. Let me just find this so that I have the right information. There we go. Your pastoral care team is here for you. We have an active and committed pastoral care team made up of church members who offer one-on-one friendly support to everyone in our community. So if you or someone close to you would like a phone call or a visit from one of our lay pastoral carers, please send your request by email to pastoralcare@eastendunited.ca, and that information is in our weekly e-blast. Next week's service is online only. It will be, like this morning, online on Facebook and on YouTube. And you can find further information about the upcoming weeks of summer worship in your weekly e-blast. And I'd like to say a word about our worship today and our last in-person service. A question was asked last week, the last in-person service date online, about the way that these in-person and online services are being done. And I appreciate the question so much because it's something that your faith committee and worship team are working on and thinking about very much. So during this summer, when we worship in person, we are offering an online service as well. It's the same content, but it's being delivered separately and simultaneously in person and online. There are a few reasons for this, but the main point is that we will be wanting to move toward a more fully hybrid in-person and online service. So a service that is being delivered in person and online, but is together. That's a complex order, and we're working on what exactly that can mean so that we can serve the people who meet online and the people who meet in person in a way that feels communal, and so that we don't have a sense of separation. But there's infrastructure for our worship that needs to be set up. There's research to be done in terms of technology, in terms of staff support and volunteer support. So we are working on that, and that is the model that we're striving for. But this is our compromise as we work toward that more fully hybrid model. So we thank you for your patience, and we thank you for joining us, whether in person or online, during this summer. It's good that you're here. We sadly said farewell to Jane Sandin this past week. She has moved to her new position and is leaving Toronto, and we have said our goodbyes. So we that leaves the many tasks that she did for our community open and needing to be done and kept current. So if you feel a call to volunteering with communications during this time, we would appreciate your help so enormously. And you can be in touch about that. Let me just check where you're supposed to be in touch. Please contact the council chair if you're able to help out. So there's an immediate need for assistance with maintaining our website, preparing the weekly e-blast, and managing the online services, which I am doing today. So Jane has created videos and instructions to assist with all of these activities. She's left us with a lot of information about how to do these things, so you don't need to feel that you already have to be an expert in order to do that. So if you're able to help with that, even on a short-term basis, please contact council.chair@eastendunited.ca. And again, that full information is in your e-blast. And I'd also like to make sure that you know that there is an upcoming picnic at Withrow Park, which is on August 14th. We'll gather around 4 p.m. with a plan to eat at 5:30, northeast corner of Withrow Park. Very informal, safe, fun opportunity just to connect with each other. The rain date is August 21 in case of inclement weather, as they always say in Dallas. So please bring your own food and drink, blankets and chairs. We'll just come together in small groups and see our East End United family outside. So Come anytime after 4. We'll start dinner with grace around 5:30. Please contact Lori Bain on Realm if you are able to come, so that we know about numbers and things and to expect you. And the full information about that, again, is in your weekly e-blast. And if you're not receiving that e-blast, please contact any of us, including info@eastendunited.ca, and we'll be delighted to get you on the list. And I'm seeing that the information is also shared in the chat, and you can contact Lori Bain. That's right, if you're going to attend. Thank you, friends. And I'm going to invite Scott to lead us in our closing hymn.
Yes, we will sing Go Now in Peace. Go now in peace, never be afraid. God will go with you each hour of every day. Go now in faith, steadfast, strong, and true. Know He will guide you in all you do. Go now in love and show you believe. Reach out to others so all the world can see. God will be there, watching from above. Go now in peace, in faith, and in love.
May the stars carry your sadness away. May the flowers fill your heart with beauty. May hope forever wipe away your tears. And above all, may silence make you strong. Then go with the assurance of God's love.
Thanks be to God.